Good evening and welcome to HC Highlanders Live. I'm Jason Muker, Associate Director of Athletics at Houghton, joined by our Director of Athletics, Matthew Webb. Want to give you just a couple updates on some news items of note. Obviously, we're still working from home, as I'm sure many of you are, and it's just created a kind of an interesting way we do business these days. But still trying to stay connected to our student athletes. Our coaches are maintaining connections with them and trying to sort of keep tabs on what they're doing at home. And one of the ways we do that is the NCAA celebrates Division III week, and we are celebrating that this week. It's kind of taken on a new look this year with it all being virtual. So we're doing a lot of stuff with social media. So if you go to our Instagram account, Twitter account, Facebook, you'll be able to see some testimonials of our student athletes, some quick facts about Division III. And Instagram, we have some of our student athletes doing takeovers, kind of updating what they're doing at home or different things about Division III and what it means to them. Today was Regan Mitchell, a three-sport athlete here, and tomorrow will be Scotty Berghaus, who is a men's basketball student athlete. So go to the Houghton College Instagram page, not the athletics page, but the college is doing that for us. Tomorrow, a special day is National High Five Day, and we got a special video that we're going to be doing some virtual high fives, and we'll share that with you tomorrow. So tune into our social media accounts. Some other things coming up on Friday is a special day in the life of the college. It's something we do every year, and it's great for building campus pride and engaging with alumni. It's our one-day giving campaign. So a lot of work goes into that by the advancement office. Athletics is getting involved in as well, and it's a chance for our alumni and friends of the college to give back financially to support student scholarships and other areas of need at the college. So tune in Friday throughout the day. You may be getting a call. We just want you guys to know that athletics is going to be highly involved in the one-day giving campaign on Friday. And then next week, we're going to be celebrating in a different format our annual student athlete banquet. It won't be a banquet. I mean, you're welcome to eat at home, but we're going to be doing a virtual show on next Thursday. So a week from tomorrow, 7 o'clock, you can tune in on our live. We'll share more with you on social media of where that will be and how you'll be able to experience that. But we want to honor our student athletes from this year, especially our seniors who gave so much, and especially our spring seniors who lost their season this year. So that is next week. Be on the lookout for more information about our virtual student athlete recognition night. And now I'm going to turn it over to Coach Webb, who's going to share a little bit about a few words and a little bit about our guests tonight.
So, God's got this. It's a phrase that was used by a real good friend of mine recently in a short video that he put together. Dan Wood is the president of the NCCAA, the National Christian College Athletic Association. And he sent a message to athletic directors, coaches, student athletes all around the country with the message that God's got this. We're living in a time right now that's very uncertain and scary in a lot of ways. And sort of in this time of where we're all experiencing loss of different variations and magnitudes. Obviously, the loss of life that many have had to go through is tragic. But in our world of athletics, the loss of seasons, the loss of daily interaction and being part of a team is made for significant change and adjustment to how life goes on in the midst of those losses. And he used the passage from Psalm 139, verse 5, references God hemming us in. But just basically that sense that God's got this. We don't know the outcome. We don't know when it's all going to end and when life will resume as normal. But we can trust and be confident knowing that God's in control and that God's got this. And it's with that confidence that we continue to work and we continue to do the work that we're called to. So at this point, I want to introduce you to Caitlyn Cybart. Caitlyn is a junior, just finishing up her junior year at Houghton, student athlete, one of our dual sport student athletes as a member of the women's basketball team and the softball team. Caitlyn is one of those student athletes whose spring season was cut short. although they got to do their trip to Florida and played in 10 games, I think it was, down in Florida, and got to experience that. So they had a little bit of their season, but obviously the majority of it was cut short. And she's now home, studying from home, like all of our other students are. So welcome, Caitlyn. And we just want to spend some time tonight getting to know you a little bit and hearing from you. And I'd be interested, just to sort of get it started. Why don't you tell us a little bit about maybe your athletic background, but why you chose to come to Houghton to sort of continue your softball and basketball career?
All right. Well, thanks for having me to start off. So I've played basketball and softball good majority of my life. I mean, I started softball first with Little League and whatnot, and I've been playing basketball since 4th grade, I think. And in high school, I actually also played volleyball, but I'm definitely not good enough at it to compete in college, so that was sort of off the table right away. But as far as how I came to Houghton, it was towards the end of basketball season, and it just kind of came up where the head coach, Coach Muker, happened to be at one of our games, and she came up and actually talked to my sister after the game. I wasn't there. I had to go home to do like a project or something I had to do for the next day. So I had gone home and my family had kind of loitered in the gym talking to people, and Coach ended up talking to Hannah and inviting us up to watch a game. And so we went up.
There's Coach Muker right there making a comment. Look at that. Yes, Kate.
Oh, hey.
So Coach Muker's watching right now. Sorry, I interrupted. Go ahead.
No, that's all right. So we went and we watched, and they actually invited us to their senior night banquet after the game, and I was really nervous because I was like, I don't want to interrupt their senior night. But little did I know that was just a great example of how caring everybody at Houghton is. Like, they were genuinely happy to have us there celebrating with them, even though we were like strangers at that point. And I think that was the experience that really convinced my sister and I that we wanted to look more at this place, just because of how opening and accepting everybody was. And then we were lucky enough where Coach Sinclair offered us the chance to play softball, and so got to do both. So that was awesome.
That's great. So obviously that invite to the senior recognition banquet was a good recruiting tactic. Because we got you and your sister to come to Houghton. That's great.
Yeah.
So why don't you think about it? What's a favorite memory you've had from your experience with each of the teams that you play with?
Oh, all right. For basketball, I would say one of my favorite memories is the team retreat we've done the past couple of years. Mm-hmm. Particularly this year was really fun. We went to a cabin, I believe one of Coach Ryan's. I think someone at our church let us stay there for the night. Sorry, Coach Ray, if I got those details wrong. But we the power actually went out for the first couple hours we were there, so we played like a board game via flashlight, and we watched Hoosiers, which was so inspirational. Like, I was so jazzed up, I wanted to go play Fisher like that second. But it was just a really fun night, and it's a time where you literally spend like 24 hours just with your teammates and your coaches, so it's just really fun. Yeah, I think that would be one of my.
Speaking of Fisher, I need to interject. If that got you jazzed up for Fisher, maybe that's what helped in that win. I mean, that was one of the most exciting games. I was watching online, and I was like, well, we're not going to win this game. And then, we hit that shot at the end. I think Corey hit the shot, and that was a great game. So maybe the Hoosiers inspiration carried all the way into that game that you guys had at Fisher this year.
I think so. There was definitely something in the water that night.
That was a great game. That was a lot of fun.
Thanks. Yeah.
What about softball?
For softball, I think one of my favorite memories would have to be the Florida trip, like you mentioned at the beginning. It's just so fun. Like, it's like the basketball team retreat on steroids because it's for a whole week. and you're down in Florida, so I mean, it's like a vacation pretty much. A vacation where you can just hang out with your friends and play a game you love. So that's really cool. It's just a ton of fun, crazy having so many people in one house, but it's a lot of fun.
How was the bus trip this year? Because this year you went down and the tennis team was also with you. And if I understand it right, there were one open seat on the bus or maybe no open seats on the bus. So it was crowded all the way down to Florida.
Yeah, it was. I honestly can't remember if there was one open seat or none, but it was fine. I mean, we met. Yeah, there's a lot of griping, but at the end of it, you're gonna get to do something great. And the tennis team was fun. I thought. I mean, we'll keep them around, I think. So.
We'll keep them around. Okay, that's good. Yeah, you're going to Florida, right? You can't complain too much about being on a bit of a crowded bus.
Right.
So, Caitlyn, this is sort of an interesting question. I can identify with this a lot, but as a twin, for those of you that don't know, Caitlyn has a twin sister that plays basketball and softball with her, Hannah. I also have two sets of twins, and I have daughters that went to Houghton and played with each other all the way through Houghton, played soccer. One of them also played basketball. And then I have twin boys that are going to be freshmen at Houghton next year and going to be dual sport athletes themselves, soccer and tennis. But what's it been like playing with your sister and having your sister as a teammate every single one of your practices and every single one of the games that you've played, I'm guessing all the way through high school and now through college? What's that dynamic like?
I think it's unique. Being a twin, I'm sure you can relate to this probably more than anyone else, but being a twin, I think, is different from being a sibling. I mean, obviously, I only have my twin as a sibling, so I don't quite know, but from what I've observed from other people, I think it's just different. It has been a lot of fun, but of course, family, the people you love most, but the people who can get on your nerves the most. So
lots of people commenting on Facebook right now, by the way. Just these messages keep popping up. That's great.
Awesome.
Hey, Chu.
Everybody. Oh, sorry. It's kind of funny because Hannah and I can get mad at each other really fast and then just move on without really saying anything about it. And sometimes I can't really describe it, but it's like a fake argument. Like it sounds like a real argument, but we're not really invested in making it an argument. But sometimes it just happens where that happens, and then people are like, "Guys, calm down," and we're like, "Why? We're not upset."
So you guys understand each other on a whole different level than anyone else does.
Yeah, and so that adds definitely an unpredictability aspect, I suppose, for our other teammates. But on the whole, it's just really fun, and I love playing with my sister. There's a different feel when she's on the court. Not that I like any of my other teammates less, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's just different. I know. My boys play tennis, and they play singles all through the year, and then they've chosen to play doubles together as they've gone into postseason, and they've gone to state qualifiers and have had a lot of fun. And that's a real big disappointment for them. I guess it's not official yet with the high school seasons, but they're missing a lot of their season, and I'm guessing likely will miss the whole season. And that was something I know they were really looking forward to. So everybody's experiencing loss in some way or another during this time. So, well, we've talked about Hannah. Tell us about the rest of your family. Mom, dad, other siblings. And is Hannah there? Can we see Hannah? Can she come and say hi to us while we're watching? Or
yeah, Hannah, do you want to come here? She's coming.
Okay.
But I mentioned before, we do not have any other human siblings, although we do have a dog that I think is the favorite. Here's Hannah.
There she is.
Hi.
Welcome, Hannah.
Here I am. Hi. I don't know how to do it. No.
So is what your sister said about playing together and ramped up arguments really quick, but they're really not that big a deal? Is that all true?
Yes, that's definitely true. I remember one time in high school, I think we were freshmen at the time, and wait, did you tell this story already?
No.
Okay, we were freshmen, and we were playing at Faulkner. It was always an intense game there. oof. But so we got into a fight on the court, and it was about like a screen. Like we didn't communicate well, and then we got in a fight, and our coach like took both of us out, and then but there was like a junior on the bench at the time, and I just hear her go, "Yeah, let him fight!"
Oh, that's great. Well, there's Coach Muker still watching, cheering you guys on. So,
Oh, thanks, Coach.
oh, that's great. Well, Caitlyn, I've got another question for you. Just as a student athlete, softball and basketball, what's the best thing? And Hannah, you guys can jump in. Maybe both of you answer this. What's the best thing about being a student athlete at Houghton College? What do you appreciate the most about your experience so far in your first 3 years?
That's a good question. I think one of the things I appreciate most about being a student athlete at Houghton in particular is, Houghton's a Christian school, and so you get a lot of lessons about God and living as a Christian just through your regular education, which is really special and different, obviously, from a lot of secular schools. But being an athlete also at Houghton, you get just that extra window, I think, into God, and because you just hear so many different perspectives, like my teammates teach me things every day about how to be a better person, and my coaches have been so intentional and crucial in my development as a Christian over the past 3 years. So I think that's what I would enjoy. That's one of the things I enjoy most, is just I get so many opportunities to grow and become a better person through my academics and my athletics here.
Hannah, how about you?
That was well said. Yeah, I would just echo that. Just the opportunity we have to grow in our faith through our athletics. Definitely a concept that was new to me when we were coming to Houghton, is playing for God, and through various devos and things over the years. I know I've heard that phrase a lot from all of our teammates. Like, I didn't know what playing for God meant before coming to Houghton. So yeah, it's just really cool that we get to learn what that's like, and in some cases from like people who have played here, like Coach Muker played here herself. But yeah, just there's been many instances where I've thought, like, there's no way I'd have this experience playing anywhere else. Like, what the softball team, we go down to the Houghton Wesleyan and help with the little like boat race night they put on down there.
Yep.
And some people watching this might not know what I'm talking about, but it's a good time. And yeah, just like an example of how the teams at Houghton are also really involved with like the community around them. It's really cool.
No, that's really good to hear. I just merging our faith and sport is a concept for a lot of people that they don't understand, and I think that's something that is really, really important that we try and teach at Houghton, that those two things go together, and the experience in being part of a team. There's just so many opportunities within that context to learn so many things about yourself, about who God is, about how to appropriately deal with success and disappointment, and every athlete that's ever played sport has experienced both of those things to varying degrees. And how do you deal with those things? And what does the context of sport and the opportunities that it provides, sort of what opportunity does that give you to grow? And I think it's really good to hear you say that, because I think that's probably the biggest value of being part of a team and being part of a sport. One of the things that someone told me years ago was that whatever group of people you're ever with, there's going to be at least one sandpaper person. And what that means is there's going to be someone on your team that rubs you the wrong way. Doesn't matter what kind of group you're in, 5 people, 10 people, 15 people, there's always someone that rubs you the wrong way. And how do you deal with that person? Because it's going to be that way the rest of your life. And being in a team like you guys are in, it's really tight and it can be really intense, and the relationships can get really deep and ingrained, and you'll learn a lot about how to deal with other people and how to navigate conflict, and it's really, really good. So no, it's good to hear you say those things. Caitlyn, tell us a little bit about yourself as a student. I mean, you're a student athlete. You're not basketball player, softball player, student Caitlyn Cybart. You're a student athlete. You're a chemistry major, if I understand correctly. Tell us how that works. How do you make all that work? I can't imagine. I know Dr. Taraka, she does chemistry, right? I think she's pretty demanding. Being a science major has a lot of demands. Labs go long. How do you manage that? How do you make it work as a student and as an athlete?
Well, first off, I'm a biology major.
Oh, sorry, bio major.
No, I don't mean to like correct you. I'm certainly not offended. So
I'm in the same, and I'm under the same umbrella in the science department there. So okay.
Yeah, I mean, you could have said I was philosophy. That would be way off course. But
okay.
No, just the chemistry people. Hats off to them. I can't believe they do what they do. So
okay.
Yeah, there have definitely been times where being a student athlete has been extremely difficult. It is just, it's a balancing act, you know, like everything else in life. You know, you have your 2 hours for practice, and then you kind of just plan around that, I guess, is the best way to do it. I am very fortunate, I think, to be where I am, being coached and taught by the people I am being coached and taught by, just because everyone who's been in that position at Houghton, as far as I've experienced it, is so understanding of, you know, the other side of my life, as so to speak. You know, like my coaches have let me, you know, leave practice for class if I have to, and or like review sessions, and they don't like, you know, make you run extra sprints or anything, which is really nice. No, they're just really very supportive and really invested in what we do in the classroom, I think, which is really awesome. You know, they're not all just about your performance on the court. They want you to do well in the classroom as well, which has been really helpful, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's great. Well, Caitlyn, thanks for your time tonight. We're about ready to sign off. It's good to see you. I hope studies are going well. Hope you're doing well at home, staying inside those walls with your sister and your dog and your parents. But thanks for joining us tonight. Next week, tune in. We will be speaking with a former men's soccer player who played at Houghton, and it's going to be a special treat next week. So please be sure to join in next week, same time, same place, and we'll see you then. Thanks again.
Cool. Thanks.